will be. Your light is shining as us. Every moment of this life. Shiva, Shiva, Shambhu, Mahadeva, Shambhu, Shiva, Shiva, Shambhu, Mahadeva, Shambhu. Lord, you are the only one that brings light upon this world. You are vaster than space, so infinite, so all-pervading. Shiva, Shiva, Shambhu, Mahadeva, Shambhu, Shiva, Shiva, Shambhu, Mahadeva, Shambhu, Shiva, Shiva, Shambhu, Mahadeva, Shambhu, Shiva, Shiva, Shambhu, Mahadeva, Shambhu. No one can find you, the source of all that is. No one can see your face. This is the timeless one. This is amazing grace. Shiva, Shiva, Shambhu, Mahadeva, Shambhu, Shiva, Shiva, Shambhu, Mahadeva.
Thank you, my dear. Is the video clear? Cornelia asked a question whether the video is clear. And can you hear me? Is the audio? Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Guru Shri Moji Ji ki Jai. So before I forget, you must remind me that the Satsang in Zima starts at 12:30 today. So we'll try and close early by about 12:15 or so. Is it at night? Who knows the time? Because Anandi said it's 12:30. Closing Satsang.
It's usually alternate, just ask them to say.
Okay, who knows? Nobody here knows. Maybe somebody on the YouTube chat can tell us.
Yeah.
If it is at 12:30 in the afternoon, then we close at 12:15. Otherwise, we carry. Very happy to see all of you. And if you're in the Hangout, the way to ask questions is to unmute your mic. And on YouTube chat, you can post your question, and we will look at it.
Father, can I speak?
Yes, my dear, please.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you so much for being there for me when I needed you. I was in a very dark place and you were there for me, and I'm so grateful because I know how busy you must be, and you gave me that time and you saved me. I was in a very bad place, and so thank you very much for that. This month, as you know, it's been a very difficult month for me. It's very trying, and I feel like since I've been back home, I feel like everything's moving very, very quickly. There's a lot of energies rushing through this body, and I feel like this house is being cleaned really quickly. Even I messaged you the other day, and I was in a place of despair. And after I wrote these words, it just all went. Nothing is staying with me. Everything goes very, very quickly, and it feels like I am living a lie. That doesn't matter what I say, all the experiences that I have, and they just pass so quickly that I can't believe anything anymore. I am not sad, I'm not happy, I'm not anything. And I don't know if I'm explaining myself right. It's just, I feel like I'm such a fraud. Because everything just feels like such a lie. Because after I've said it, it's like, where did that go? You know, I was so upset, I was so distressed, and then after I speak it, I'm fine, and it's just like, what just happened? Can you help me, please? I feel like I'm floating. I don't even feel like my feet are touching the ground. I feel like I'm here, but I'm not here. I don't know if I'm explaining myself right. I don't make any sense.
Very good. Like, it's actually very good. Because this, like my master says, this ineloquence is much more beautiful than the most eloquent words you could speak. There's so many of us who just get caught up in the play of words. That itself becomes like the center of our lives, that we are able to express whatever beauty we are feeling in our heart, we express that in words. And that also becomes a bit of a trap from the mind. Now, if you're saying that I don't know what I'm saying, I don't understand what's going on, it is actually music to my ears. You say, please help me. But like this, if you are just floating, everything is just coming momentarily and going, then you don't need help. You don't need help. Those who are completely clear that they are a person, those are the ones who need help. So you are now unclear about what is going on, what you are. So it is from the I am sure I'm a person to coming to this I don't know place, which seems like a bit of a journey, a difficult one. From this I don't know, you just check, so what am I? It's very easy. It's very easy.
I just feel like I can't trust anything. I can't trust anything. Even this searching for the truth, even that now it's starting to feel like it's all a dream.
Yes. Because even this was personal, you see. Even the search for freedom was personal. So you come to a point now where even this starts to seem like a sham. But the next trick which the mind will play, and it's playing on many of you, and we already had this one satsang which is labeled, what's the point? Because once we come to this point where we see that this personal seeking, the seeking for freedom also, was just personal, it was just egoic, then the question comes, so what's the point? And I want to speak a couple of minutes about this. What's the point of satsang? And it can get confusing because we say that what you are is ever free. What you truly are, that cannot be bound, isn't it? And the person, the ego, can never be free because it is only just imagined. So if what you are is always free, and if the ego will never change, then what's the point of satsang? It's a very valid question. Many of you are encountering this, isn't it? Yeah. But there is something which is getting missed out in these two perspectives. So one, we are taking the absolute perspective as awareness, and it is true that as awareness, you can never be bound. You see? And the other perspective is this personal perspective, the imagined one, as I say, which is the ego. And saying that we often say that the mind will always talk about you as a person, so don't expect it to change. So then, what is the point? The point of satsang is that we come to a place of unassociated being. And for those of you who are new to satsang, they might be confused now between awareness, beingness, and person. So let me quickly go through those as well. So when we speak about person, we are saying this idea that I am a separate entity, I am an individual, I am that which my name refers to. And it is not the body. What my name refers to is not the body. The body is just a part of what it refers to. Because the body is unconcerned about relationships, unconcerned about being a father, mother, daughter, son, parent, all of these things. It is unconcerned with. It is unconcerned with the amount of money you have. So it is not just the body, there is a imagined entity called the person. Why I say imagine? Because when you look for it, you cannot find it. Where is the person? You say, I don't know. And yet you will find that there is a voice, the voice of the mind, the voice of the ego, this thought stream, which is constantly trying to convince you of your personhood. And because it speaks authoritatively, we start believing that yes, I must be this person. So this is what we mean when we say ego, person, mind. We use all these terms interchangeably. Then the question is, what is this being, Atma? You keep hearing these terms, you see. Consciousness, Atma, soul, being, God. But how many are clear about these? Or is it just a label or a concept? If I were to tell you from the sense I am, many of you, this can seem confusing. The sense I am. The sense I am. But if I were to ask you, can you stop being? It is clear that there is a being which is here. There is a sense that I am, the Atma, I exist, the presence. And in this state, which we call the waking state, it is not possible for this presence to not be there. The sense of being to not be there is not possible in this state. And yet, in the deep sleep, in sleep state, even the presence of I am is not present. So, if even this I am is not present, how do we know that there is something called sleep state? How do we know I went to sleep? Like I often say that if in Satsang it was so boring, you went to sleep, and then you wake up in 10 minutes, you know you went to sleep, isn't it? There is nothing to report from there. But you are aware of even this nothing. So this is what we mean by awareness. When I ask the question, are you aware now? Am I aware now? This is the only non-phenomenal experiencing, which means this is the only confirmation you can give without actually tasting anything phenomenal. Am I aware now? You don't see anything to confirm this, and yet you know completely, of course, I am aware. Awareness is here. It is what I am. So when we say that this awareness can never be bound, it is easy to take. Yes, this awareness can never be bound. It doesn't want freedom. And then when we check, the voice of the mind doesn't change. Even after this discovery that I am this awareness, the voice of the mind is still the voice of the mind, always talking to you as if you are a person. You see? So then we come back to the main point, which is what is the point of satsang? The point of satsang is that this pure presence I am has the power of belief, and it can believe itself to be a person. So the power of belief is the power to pretend. So it is I amness which is associated as a person, the imagined one, and it is I amness which is tired of this association. So it brings this appearance into satsang, and it is I amness which rids itself of this association as a person, and it becomes the unassociated being. So when we are speaking as this awareness, as this I amness, as this beingness, this being, this consciousness has complete control over the power of belief. Complete control over the power of belief. The point of satsang is only to get you to withdraw belief from this egoic mind stream so that you can rest as the unassociated being, untroubled by this way of suffering, which is all personal. So,
Sorry.
so I was just saying that once it is clear that belief in this mind stream, in this flow of thoughts, is just the doorway to misery, the doorway to suffering, then our being is unassociated. So I am stays as I am. It is not saying I am the body. It is not saying I am whatever your name is. It is not saying I am whatever identity, father, daughter, son, child. It is pure unassociated being. And this resting as pure unassociated being is freedom from suffering. So that is the entire point of satsang, to get this pretend association broken and to get you to a point of unassociated being, your own presence, which is your own Satguru, which is you in your dynamic aspect. When I started speaking, I felt we'll keep it really simple. But as I heard the words coming out of my mouth, I was feeling that, okay, those who are new must be wondering what is going on. Just had to come like that. Yes, my dear, I stopped you in the middle once. You can say what you were saying.
I'm noticing that all this stuff is coming up to trick me, and I can see its tricks. And it's like even the other day when I wrote to you, after I wrote it, I thought, but it's all gone. And why did I do that for? Why did I message, take up so much of your time for nothing? None of it was true. And it's like all these even feelings, old feelings of like guilt are coming up because I've always held myself back from expressing sometimes, and something wants to express itself, and I think, no, I'm going to be judged by what I might write, or they're all silly thoughts. And I thought, but if it wants to express, let it express. And it's like it's coming from every angle. Things are coming to me from every angle, but I can see its falseness. I can see, because I think what I went through this month with all this, I felt such darkness that I didn't even feel that when my mother passed away. It was very, very, it was really, really horrible. And the emotional pain was so strong that I felt like I had to get out of this body to cope. And when I was out of the body, I realized that only when I was in the body that I was feeling the pain. And I could only survive this pain when I was out of it. And I think something happened, I don't know. Because since I've come back home, I feel like I'm out of my body most of the time. And I don't need to be. So I'm like floating. But it feels like whatever's happening is happening really quickly. It doesn't give me time. I can't hold on to anything. I can't even stay angry at my husband. Sometimes we're in the middle of an argument, and I start laughing right in the middle of it, thinking, look at this. I can't even hold that.
Yes.
It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just so strange.
This, your husband should be grateful for Satsang. No other reason, at least for this, he should be grateful for Satsang.
Oh, God, yes. I mean, I shouldn't be on Satsang today because I'll have to start cooking soon. But I thought, no, I have to. Doesn't matter. I have to do what I have to do today. So it is easier for me the nighttime ones. But, yeah, I had to be here. And just being here, like you've said in your quotes, just being in Satsang melts away the ego. And I believe that. I really believe everything you say. Everything you say touches my heart so very, very deeply, and I'm just so grateful to you, Ananta. I love you so much, and I just can never repay what you've done for me and for many. So thank you so, so much. Thank you.
I love you too very, very much.
I love you very much too. God bless. Thank you.
One point also I wanted to speak about was that you're coming to this discovery that you're not in the body. So initially, it might seem like it's a special experience for some when they say, oh, I had an out-of-body experience. I know also that they are maybe speaking of different things where the perspective of vision may be changed and they saw that they're seeing from a different perspective. But actually the fact is that we cannot be in the body. The body also is appearing inside consciousness. Okay? It's very good that all these insights are coming to you, and sometimes it seems strange. It seems like, oh, I'm floating, all this, I don't have legs to stand on anymore, I don't know what's going on. It's all very auspicious. It's very auspicious. We're losing this body condition, we're losing the body identification, we're losing the mental identification. And many times it happens with the mind also, isn't it? I don't know what I'm saying, I don't know where I am, You next. So many times I tell Anandi that if I just forget everything, then remind me, okay, what is supposed to happen next? Are we at the beginning of satsang or end of satsang? What's going on? So sometimes like this, we feel like, come on, it can happen in the mind, the body. Sometimes we don't know where we are, what the body is doing. Oh, this is fine.
But it doesn't really matter because I always feel I'm always here.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter. What I experience is just an experience. So,
it's very good.
thank you.
Also, it is 12:30 India time.
Father, may I speak?
Yes, my dear.
I don't want to. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I haven't really got much to say actually. I understood a little bit what Lucy was saying in that. And one of the things is that I have 1,000 questions for you, but they all just like they all seem rubbish. Everything comes out of my mouth, I also just don't believe, and it passes, and I just want to check with you that it's just okay for me just to sit here in satsang and just just sit with you and just checking that that's okay just to do, because I don't feel just feels that's all I need to do at the moment.
Yes, yes, yes. It's completely fine like this. Just sit in satsang with this complete sense of innocence. Many of you call me father with your love. You just sit like sitting with your father with no sense of holding back or having to do something. No sense of holding back or
I
having to say anything. You just sit innocently. If something comes, you come up, you unmute and you share. If nothing is coming, you can just sit. It's completely fine. You see?
I also wanted to, the one thing, the two things I did want to
Yeah.
say was how I appreciate and love. I'm not an online person, so I don't really get to communicate with the Sangha at all, but how much this love really has developed for my Sangha. And, they're all over the world, South Africa, Australia, America, and Europe and India, and this love has arisen for them, and I so appreciate their questions, because so many times their questions are either questions I'd like to ask myself or questions that I didn't realize that I needed maybe to hear, and how I appreciate them so much and love them, and I feel very privileged to be part of this. It's such an amazing, and thank you, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Very good. It's this beautiful Sangha, even my gratitude to all of you. Love you all so very much. As I often say, you are my master's gift to me. So good. And you see that in every Sangha, there are some different types of constituents. Uh, Different types of constituents. So some will come be part of the Sangha and they will drop out. This is normal. Some dropouts are bound to be. So let's take maybe the college metaphor. Yes. So some will say that, oh, this course is really not for me, I drop out. Hmm. Another will say, another type of dropout will say, I got everything. I already know this course. Why am I here? So I drop out. So those are the dropout. Then there are some who graduate, who really, in their heart, they feel yes, it's true discovery. What I am is clear. Okay. So what I mean by graduate is it's clear, no suffering, none of this trouble, but it doesn't feel to continue as part of a sangha anymore. It just feels like life is charting its own course. It is going somewhere in its own way. You see? So I say, okay, you graduate and let life take you wherever it is taking you. But it's good if you get this graduation from the mouth of the master. You see? So many times the dropout will say, yes, yes, I already know. This is clear to me. So it's good to check. It's just good to check. And the third, or the fourth, yes, the fourth are those who just feel like this is my home. It's not a college. This is where I must be. And I cannot leave. I don't care, graduated, dropped out, understood, not understood. I just know that this is home. So like this. And every Sangha has all of these, and it's okay. This is how it plays. Is everyone clear now on what is the point of satsang? I feel it's really important, and I'm going to ask all of you. It's already some are preparing of what they're going to say. Because I want for this Sangha to be clear about this, so that we have looked at this question and now taken it to its logical conclusion. What is the point of satsang? So you can share with us what is the point. Okay, so Aparna starts, she says there is no point of satsang for the mind. Yes. Okay, then what's the point? This new teacher today. And if you many are saying that it's clear. Maya says something about coming to a place of unassociated being. Yes, yes. But as you say, home. Aparna says to be one with the master and true disciple. Yes. But the ego was never real. It was just imagined. Parvati says, Father Ji, I am watching. This is my home. Shivani says, to drop the false father and be our natural self. And what does it mean to drop the false? What does it mean? Ask everybody this question. This question is for everybody. What does it mean to drop the false? It's very true. The point of satsang is to drop the false and to stay as a natural, unassociated being. Right? So stop pretending. So the point is to stop pretending. How do we stop pretending? Really, I feel I need to spoon feed this because we keep missing this. You're not believing your next thought. Why should we not believe our next thought? So how are we pretending by believing our next thought? How are we pretending?
Just so much.
Yes, but how are we pretending? We are believing a thought, how are we pretending?
It's like a new thing of pushing actually. One thought only
Leads to a lot of
leads
yes.
to unlimited.
So who is pretending?
Doesn't matter.
Oh. That's an Advaita escape. Who is pretending? It is being itself. It is consciousness. It is God Himself who is pretending to be a person. That's why I say, isn't it, that if you want to see God pretending to be a person, believe no next one. Because this consciousness, which is as unassociated consciousness, is I am that I am. God said in the Bible, I am that I am. The minute it becomes I am the body, I am the person, I am the parent, I am the child, then it is pretending to be these identities which all make up the ego. So it is clear that for awareness, for the witnessing, nothing is changing. Whether pretending is happening or not happening, nothing is changing. The mind is always the mind. Even the mind of the sage is saying, we must do this, we should not do that, do this. Although it might be a lot less, the thought flow might be a lot less, but the content is very much the same. Same attack and defense with all other many ones. Therefore, the point of satsang must be that this being, this consciousness itself, is pretending to be a person and is tired of the suffering of the person, tired of the story basically. This pretense, it gets tired of the pretense itself. And it creates this device called satsang in its own self. Creates this device called satsang and then gets free from this addiction of listening. So all that is happening in satsang is this freedom from this addiction. And sometimes when the addiction is gone, you feel, wow, this is good. This is so much space, so much freedom. And sometimes when the withdrawal symptoms are there, you say, oh God, this is all rubbish, it's not working for me, I want the mind back, at least I knew what it was doing. You know, I'm tired of this awareness stuff. So these are the withdrawal symptoms and the addiction. But as my master says, this is rehab for God Himself. For those of you who are new to satsang, this might feel like a little blasphemous, but it is not meant to. This is actually rehab for God Himself by God Himself. So the point of satsang is to stop the pretense that God is doing to God Himself. God is pretending to be a person or being associated and saying, I am this, I am that. All these identifications are getting chopped off, and some identifications have been nourished, So when they are chopped off, it seems like you cry about them. You say, I'm going through so much pain. I used to love that part of me. All rubbish. Okay? So even this part of the withdrawal symptoms, you can be withdraw. And some, when you drop them, you feel so much sense of space. And this unassociated me, then it seems like you cannot pretend anymore. Once it has marinated so much in satsang, it feels like it cannot pretend anymore.
You mentioned other Muslim leaders say that's
Yes, yes.
there is a fear here, see it, but what if when I say I,
It's
say
okay.
what if I choose to pretend to be choose to suffer?
Yeah.
So I don't like this space at all.
Yeah.
After having and seeing that, so it's just,
So the one who is making this choice to pretend or not, you see, that one actually, even through all the pretense, stays only as being. So the one who is worried about whether which choice will be made or not is still the mind.
still there's that fear, right? It's like I don't want to make any choice. I leave everything to God. It's like I don't understand that I make it wrong. Like that.
So God Himself is making the choice. That's the whole point. So it is not any other entity which has the power of belief. So there is no other entity, there is only God. If there is only God, then all choices are God. And when it is tired of the choice, then it makes a satsang. If it's enjoying the choice, then it makes all this personal stuff. So he is the one doer and one experience. Your own doing.
Like I just didn't really want to. Obviously.
Is that a brain side laughter or
It's not the better. I'm making it
it's okay.
talking of the word pretend can be fake. That only suffering it will not pretend.
Only satsang is?
Will not pretend.
No, no, even this game of satsang is pretend. Even this game of satsang is pretend. Because there is one pretending to be a teacher as if he knows something, other pretending to be a student as if he doesn't know anything. All the play of this one being itself. So even this is part of the game. It's part of the Leela, it's part of the Maya. You see, it's like in a computer game, there are various missions that you might have to complete. Mission 1, mission 2, in the computer game. Then finally, when you get tired of the game, it's still there's a sense of addiction to playing it. You see? So somewhere you program the voice there saying, "Come on, stop this game now, enough." You see? So it's still part of the game. But it is reminding you to wake up. It's all your own. As consciousness, all of this is your own Leela. You see? All of this is your own. Even satsang is part of it. So the voice which is speaking in satsang is reminding you of what you really are. And these voices are rare, you see. All part of the game, but there is a voice which is reminding you of what you are. Mostly other when you interact with people, everyone is referring to you as person. So, Mr. Rao, how are you today? Mr. Rao, what are you going to do? Hmm? Nobody is referring to you as consciousness.
You see people
Yes.
at a lot of people. Yes, people say,
Yes, yes.
everything.
Everything.
I think not everything. I'm not a fool. issues here.
Yes.
And very good thing that you go to. But we go one to go to. But when you talk of epidemic,
Yes.
even you are not.
Everything which is phenomenally existing is part of the appearance. So even the great avatars, the great sages, when they have this condition, right, even we see many times, that even Ram cried when Sita was taken away from him. If he realized that all of this is Maya, then why would he cry? There is some conditioning in this realm when it plays like this, some conditioning is always there.
You could have another good statement you are telling me that when you are asleep, there is nothing to do.
Yes.
According to me,
Okay.
before going to bed, you take or that thing. There also God, the dream does not even maybe you will have good dream, you will have bad dream. Here also, your life is not it may not happen to everybody, but some people it happens. It will need. So, how do you answer?
So when I say sleep, I'm talking about the deep sleep state. So there is waking, dream, sleep, kriya, all these states can be there. So there is one awareness which is the witnessing of all of these states which are coming and going. You say, I went to sleep, but it was broken sleep because a lot of dream came. See? But then you're saying that there was sleep state, then there was dream state, then there was sleep state again, then there was dream state again. See? And then the waking came.
Cycle.
Now, this cycle is going on moving. But are you moving? The one that is witnessing the sleep state, the dream state, the other dream state, the new, and time and space is immeasurable even in the dream state. You could spend 100 years in one dream. You see? The time and space are there, all this is moving. But are you moving? All these waking, dream, sleep, all these states are coming. Even meditators, they have turiya, nirvikalpa, samadhi, all these states will come. But you, as the witnessing of all of this, you are not moving. When we get involved in the appearance, and we call anything in the appearance me or mine, that is called attachment or more, and that is the seed of trouble. All these states coming and going, you are the eternal witnessing of all of them, untouched by the movement of time and space also. Okay? But when the appearance is coming, and you say, this is me, this is me, or this is me, that's when all the troubles come. If you remember, it's just part of the appearance in this particular state, then you cannot trouble.
Then you meditate. This dream is because of the attachment you have on
No, the dream is just appearing as a play of consciousness.
I want you to be 15 years back.
Yes.
Even after 16 years, I get to be
Yes.
beating to them and actually who is like
Why does the dream
I
come?
was involved myself in 10 years. The place of my home and working. It is because of something which even of 16 years, very frequently I get here.
So, if you look at the content of dreams, we hardly speak about this, so some of you also will find this new. Is that when you look at the content of dreams, very often you will find that either it is because of some unresolved fear or it is some unresolved desire, unresolved desire or fear. Like many of us will still have dreams about failing an exam or having studied for the wrong exam and gone, isn't it? Because it is a fear which is there. And many of us will have other dreams which are about unresolved desires. So unresolved desires and fears are the most common content of the projection which we call dreams. But funnily enough, there are also various other forces which are at work. even in sleep state. So sometimes you could find, if you travel to a different place, if you travel to a different location, you will find that you're having a dream in another language. The language of that, I don't know whether it's happened. Sometimes when you travel, you have a dreaming about speaking in a different language as if you're part of that. So there's some other forces that go. But usually, if you were to analyze your dream and see, it is trying to resolve, which is still not forgiven, still not completely free from, that is still trying to be resolved in the dream state. So this is the most common. Then many times we get dreams about things like past lives, so many things, many places which can lead to repetition. So the point in satsang here is not too much to analyze, okay, why did this dream come, what did it happen? Just to stay with what I am. So the dream, so we say that there are two A's. There's the big A, which is awareness, which means the pure witnessing, the pure seeing. And there's a small a, which is the appearance, which in India we call Maya, the appearance. So rather than contemplating too much about why does this Maya project like this, and why does Maya do this, and why does Maya do that, if we can simply say that I am the pure witnessing, untouched by this Maya. Maya can do whatever she wants. Because ultimately it is this self-realization that I am this seeing, this witnessing, this awareness, which will give us freedom from suffering. Otherwise, what happens is when we get into this dream interpretation, there are many people who are keeping like journals and trying to understand why this dream, why this dream come. Experts also. There's some experts also. Dream interpretation. But do they become free from suffering, or it becomes another trap? It becomes another trap, essentially, trying to manage, because we find that okay, the waking state is not enough for me. We're trying to resolve something in the dream state. All will get resolved with your self-discovery of what you are. As you see that I am this, that is the witness of the presence and absence of being itself. Then you will lose the ability to suffer. Ability to suffer, that is why I am here. I am here because it seems that the purpose of this voice is to help you lose the ability to suffer. I am that which is the witness of even the presence of and absence of being. Because you say I slept, and even the sense I am was not there. And now waking is here, therefore this being is here. Yeah, what is the difference between sleep state and waking state? Yeah. See,
So, seems like the only fearless space in Maya. And whatever needs to take support will take that support. And you may spend whether it's
yes.
small a or whatever. And whatever needs to be whoever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like this, but it depends on, nothing depends on the person. It all depends on whether as consciousness you've had enough of this dream or not. If you've not had enough of this dream, then everything that appears will perpetuate more and more of the dream. That's why the small a and big A is little important, because if it is more of the game that you truly want in your heart, even if your mouth is saying, I just want freedom, but actually more of the game, then what is appearing will perpetuate more and more. Truly, if you're tired of this play of Maya, then as you say, everything which is appearing is supporting this. And everything that is phenomenal is supporting you. It is your play. What is it that you want in your heart? That is it. You cannot say, I want freedom, but by the way, along with freedom, it would be nice if in my order you can also add some peace and some joy and some love. You can have fries with that. You can add some. You want to say freedom, freedom. I don't care which state is coming, which state is going. All I care about is my self-discovery. Then this sugar and spice, which is available in this world, loses this power over you. But if you set conditions for your freedom, if you want only that type of freedom, which is the Janaka freedom, which is the freedom which is accompanied by complete bliss, then it is not truly freedom that you. All those associations first have to be dropped. You find yourself this unassociated being, which the funniest thing is ever present. It's ever present. It's at the root of all of this play. It is the one that wakes up first. You say waking state. What wakes up? The sense I am.
This choice of freedom is not ours. I mean, it's not.
It is not yours as a person.
Yeah.
Because the person doesn't exist, it has no choice.
Yes. But is it mine as being? I mean,
Everything that is appearing is your choices. Everything is God's will.
so why would say I choose freedom and some other being not? I mean, it's not in that sense, some other being in another. You know
It
what I'm
seems
saying?
like,
Yeah.
Actually, you know that there is no other
Yes.
being. You cannot
Because
testify
every
to
time
the
you say
beingness
that-
of another.
Yes, every time you say that there's a fear that I see here, like,
Yeah.
what if if I'm just saying freedom and I really don't want, I don't know. I mean, I want to see that one
Yes.
because I see that fear and
This is very good you say like this because it reminds me of a mail I got yesterday. And this one said, that I didn't really want freedom. I was just coming to satsang because of peer pressure. And like this, she said like this, and I don't believe her. Because satsang, if it is just because of peer pressure, you will come once, you will come twice. You will not get your mind here to be tortured every time. So it cannot be. So if you've been in satsang, it must be that this resonance for freedom is here.
because like now like I'm saying, like after having seen, and even this morning, like little thoughts, like it makes me troubling me so
Yeah.
much, it still gets attention, and then that creates, like she said, more thoughts that I'm not being loyal, like loyal enough to this, and why am I giving attention to those thoughts where I was not giving it a few days back? So right now it's like a medley of things going on, and I'm really like, I come here because I love you so much, and I feel this so much, and I really don't know what I want. I don't know.
Yes.
And there's a fear wanting to like not see it, but I really want to see it because why am I still giving some juice to my thought? Why?
So what happens is that one tip I want to give all of you is that it will trap you in this way where it gets you to do a postmortem of the past. That's why I used to keep saying, I'm not said it for a few days, so maybe all of you need to hear it. Don't take your temperature. Because many of you, I find constantly you're taking your temperature. How free am I? Am I believing my thoughts? It's not about that. Just in any moment, if you find that something has been picked up, there you go. Don't say, why did I pick up again? Am I still bound? That is still the same guy, you see. You start fresh in that moment. You can never become that guy. I'm not worried about that.
But the experience is just not nice. to think that you're that
Yes,
guy.
but this openness to all experiences will also come. And you will stop even labeling it. This is openness. When we are not coming to the restaurant with our own menu as master says. You heard him say like this? He says, no, we are usually going to the restaurant and we are carrying our own menu and saying, this is how it should be, this is how it should be, this is nice, this is not nice. You go into the restaurant of life, just trust life for whatever it is. Because otherwise, then if it has the potential to push these buttons, then they'll keep getting pushed. The universe knows exactly what it is doing and has perfect timing. The only thing that resists this is called the mind. So the ego is only a resistance of what is.
There's a thought that's coming like, what to do now? This what to do thing is now like just like there's nothing to be done and it keeps coming up. Should I do something?
Okay, thought is coming what to do. So
Nothing.
if you don't give it power, then nothing. How many times will it knock on your door? If you refuse to open, it will stop coming. But if you open and think, "Acha, today you have something different," then again it has got you. It doesn't have anything different. It's the same guy, same salesman. And all it is selling is personhood, all it is selling is misery, all it is selling is suffering. You see? It has a different sales line every time. Maybe the same one if it works. You'll also see these tricks of the mind. The line stops working, a new line will come. If that line stops working, a new line. It's very sneaky like this. It is very good it happened like this because you are transcending all of these tricks of the ego. So what gets you now? What to do now? It's not really getting you. It's just coming.
I don't know what's getting me also these days. It's just like
It's good.
complete medley. I have no idea.
Yeah, sometimes it gangs up.
Like,
Like
so one thing that gets me is that
Yeah.
past. Just a few days back, you were right there.
you
You're
were
not
no.
believing anything. You didn't, you're just in this awareness.
Now you are there. Now, in every now you are there. You are that only. Unless we go to future or past, you cannot be bound by any thought. So drop any image that you have of yourself from the past. There was nothing of value there. It is all here now. Because in this way, actually, you might develop a spiritual ego. That you paint. What is the spiritual ego? It is a picture of yourself which is awake. You see, it is a picture of yourself which is awake. It is still not you. It is still a picture. That is awake. That is awake. You painted a picture of yourself with a halo around its head. The free person. Forget about these pictures. You are here now. Something wants to hold on to that picture. It is saying, yes, that is our game. We got there, you see. And now you lost it again. It's trying to put some guilt on you. It's trying to play this game of got it, lost it.
And I can just see all this game, I'm not doing anything.
Yes.
It's just happening. I just suddenly find myself sitting in front of you. I suddenly find myself at home. It's like I'm not moved. It's
Yes. It's just that what is appearing in front of you is changing. The mind says that you are moving. Actually, this appearance is moving. I am untouched, unmoved.
Sir, having been enlightened in focus about this satsang, I have made a definition for it.
Yes, please.
I mean, I don't know whether I am correct.
Please go.
A real satsang is one. Real satsang
Yeah.
is you will be relieved from distress.
Who will?
If real satsang,
Sangi is one.
you will be relieved from distress.
Yes.
And he will be taken, he will have a peaceful mind, thoughts in the right direction, and without giving up his social responsibility, he is a thing. Am I correct?
The real one in Satsang is just the one who has come to the true discovery of what he is. You see? Then So you can say what it is and what are the symptoms of it. So you can describe what it is. You see, a disease, you can describe what the disease is, or you can describe the symptoms of it. You see? So the reality of one who is in satsang is the one who has discovered what he really is, or he has only this in his heart that all I want is my self-discovery. The symptoms of it could be the ones that you describe. The one who truly wants freedom or who has come to the self-discovery of what they are, then they have these attributes. But we must not confuse satsang to be the attributes, because many who are, even the sages, exhibit many different attributes. It's not about the attributes, it is about the presence. Okay, I feel we're getting late because we have Guruji Satsang starting in a few minutes. There are lots of chat, lots of questions, but maybe we can keep it for tomorrow and we discuss. Can we have a song before you go?
So I have one from Samadhi that's coming up very relevant. God has built me a house without doors, floors, or ceiling. The abode of my heart, same home for every day. And sometimes he blows a storm through this open space, and in the eye of the storm, I can still see his grace. Oh, Bhagavate Satguru Ramana Jai. Oh, Arunachala Satguru Muji ji ki jai. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Shiva Shiva if you make believe that this house belongs to me, walls made of stone, and doors made of steel, then there is no doubt that it will crumble. Caught in a tornado that never seems to pass. And how could a storm destroy what's nothing? What could it leave behind except silence? Oh, Bhagavate Satguru Ramana Jai. Arunachala Niji ki jai Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Shivati Nihu Shivati Nihu Mujite Nihu.
Thank you, my dear. Jesh, you can play the invocation now.
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Dev Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Dhyanam Gurur Murti Pujamunam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Mokshamulam Mujiji Kripa Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sakina Sarve Santu Niramita Sarve Patrani Pashantu Akasyit Tukvak Bhavet Asatum Asat Kamiya Tamasum Jyotir Gamiya Mrichurma Amritam Gamiya Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Shanti 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 Brahma Paramastu Om Shri Satsang Shri Satsang Ji ki Jai.
Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Guru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai.
Ananta,
Jay. Jay, hello.
Yay! 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 Yay!
Aparna, doctor. What are we doing now? We're closing. Okay, my dear, we can turn the broadcast off now.